Hi everyone, welcome back to the Social Media Derby. We've got a couple of big games to preview this weekend. Man United travelling to the Emirates. We've also obviously got the Man Derby to go through. We've got two fixtures for both Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool to go through as well, with Champions League back. And yeah, we'll get through the updates of the Prediction League because, spoiler alert, someone has forgotten to send through their predictions. So someone's in trouble. But yeah, before we get into it, for those watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment and share if you can. For those listening on Spotify, Apple, or any of the other podcasting platforms, please follow, give us a 5-star review. All that helps grow the pod. And of course, Khem is on the pod, and to be fair, me as well. So the views expressed in this podcast are just for entertainment purposes. They're not real opinions unless football related. And I think even that, we're skirting the line. So yeah. Khem, please God, remember. All right, let's get into it. How are you, man, doing? I'm going to be happy for once because we obviously slapped up Man City on the weekend. Feels like ages ago, but yeah, good result. Arsenal got a big win in Champions League, so I imagine Razor, Io, you man are happy as well, away in the San Siro.
Have you ever seen a happy Io?
Can't you see my head? Can't you see my headline? Can't you see my time?
Oh yeah. We've got to get into it. Yeah. We've got to get into that as well. Ethan Wanyeri going on loan to Marseille. Imagine that. Youth star wonder kids causing crash outs. All right, we'll get into that in a bit. Khem, how you doing, mate? You doing all right? One away as well in the Champions League in Marseille. Feeling better?
I'm very ill, but like I said beforehand, I need this to be a podcast of truth. So I'm here to bring balance to anyone that is tuning in.
Oh God! All right, here we go. But before we get into the teams who actually played a couple of games this week, well, as we usually do, we'll go through Man United's one game that we played. It was a big one though. You might have seen, if you follow or pay attention to the socials or even YouTube, a little clip went out this week of not the finest moments for myself, Razor and Reese when it comes to predicting this result. None of us went for a United win. Nash is the sole oracle, and even that feels a bit of a stretch because he predicted a draw. But United win 2-0 at home. Mbeumo, Dorgu. Before I get you man's opinions, I was lost for words, man, watching that game because, I mean, apart from the group chat where I've been pretty negative, rightly so, about United recently, on the pod, I'm pretty sure I had a mini Reese crash out about United prior to this game with Carrick taking charge as the interim. But in terms of performance, I thought as close to 10-10 you can get for this current version of United. I don't know what you man think, but really it should have been 5 or 6, really. I can't even remember many Man City chances. I think they had a header cleared off the line in the first half, but I wouldn't even consider that super dangerous. I think Lamans actually had it if Dalot didn't clear it. But apart from that, I can't remember any other chances really for them. Haaland was absolutely pocketed by the Butcher and also Harry Maguire. And the biggest shocking thing, and I want you guys to jump in on this point, our midfield absolutely overran City's midfield. And considering we've got Casemiro, who made his announcement that he's leaving at the end of the season today, who's, I don't know, 33 or 34, whatever it is, Bruno, who no one really likes in midfield, and Kobe, who's been criticised for not having the physical attributes to cover the grass, we absolutely overran them with Rodri in the team. And I think that was a big reason why we were able to actually get the win, and the convincing win. Because like I said, I don't know if you man can jump in here, but do you think I'm going overboard saying that we could have won it 4-5-0? Because that's how it felt. But, 4-4 Bournemouth, we had very different opinions. So, I got to check in with you, man, every now and again.
No, you back them. No, you did definitely deserve to win, which I don't think anybody could see happening. But yeah, I think it shows. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hilarious that you went from your prediction to how you were talking in the group chat. The there was a lot of shit talking on your part, which I found amazing, considering your negativity. But I think that's what every great fan is, to be fair. So I think four at the back as well. I think Amorim, just got to put that guy in the past and that experience. Yeah, Kobe looked amazing. Like he looked like he looked like the player that I think everybody knew he had it in him. I'm not going to say one of the good ones like a certain person here, but he looked like a very So I think Kobe definitely has the talent. I think he showed that he still got that talent in him, man. Yeah, I was shocked, man. City didn't look like they had any answers for United, and I don't think anybody could have seen that coming whatsoever.
Before I flip it over to Razor and Khem, we've had big wins against City before, and big, I mean, like we've come in as underdogs. They've been all conquering. No one kind of really expected it. We've been in turmoil, and we've managed to get narrow wins. But this is probably the most convincing City win that I've seen us have. I don't know, maybe post Fergie, in terms of the way we played, because most of the time it's very much smash and grab. Picture Ollie's few wins that he had over Pep, where he's sitting super deep with McFred in midfield, and we're just super defensive and reactive, and then we hit them on the counter. And even though we did score 2 goals, well, one goal was definitely on the counter. The other one was, I wouldn't say is necessarily a counter, but even though we hit them with a lot of counter attacks in this game, I don't think it didn't feel the same in terms of the way we played. We didn't have loads of the ball, but normally in those other games, City we ride our luck. They hit the post, or we have De Gea playing unbelievable, or we have fewer chances, but we somehow managed to get the win. This one, like I mentioned, what you said, I agree, man. I think we absolutely slapped them up. And it wasn't only a case of City playing badly. It was also a case of us surprisingly playing really well and forcing them to play even worse. Obviously, their defense, they've got some youngster in there. I can't even remember his name. The one who's playing against my brother in centre defense. But obviously, if they had Gahey or they had better defenders, it may have improved them significantly. But I just felt like they didn't really have a sniff. I don't know, Razy. I'm obviously this is one game, so before any of you man call me out on that, I'm not going to show the same vim for the Arsenal. But
it's absolutely sickening to see this man this happy. I do not want this to continue. I reject it. I refute it. I rebuke it, especially this weekend. But you know what? Unbelievable result for United, Arsenal United. Thank you, United. Appreciate it. It was great stuff. I think, well, as the clip that we put up on socials proved, it kind of proved us all a little bit foolish in terms of I think what we've become used to with United is like seeing them overcomplicate it, over emotionalize it, over strategize it, over politicize it. There's always something going on, and it's just like away from the football. And like for once, it feels like the team just went out and played good football. And yeah, like I said, flipping battered them. Man like Carrick, who said? Who would have thought it? Not me. Definitely not me.
The one thing I will caveat it with, it did feel at the same time very Ollie-ish. It did, that's the reason why the question in the episode outline is Carrick at the wheel, because it did feel like, let's not fool ourselves. The reason why me and Nash were going band for band crashing out last week was because they've brought the old boys back in, and it's clearly to try and get everyone on side, and it's a bit of a manipulation tactic from the board to try and get everyone, supporting the legends or ex-players, etc. And it did feel a little bit like that. And it did feel a little bit akin to some of those Ole Gunnar Solskjaer performances in terms of the vibes and how everyone was so happy with the performance. But yeah, very early days, but I'm glad you man are showing, unbiased takes on United for a one moment of glory.
I have other thoughts.
Yeah, but those might be the biased ones.
No. All of this carrot at the wall stuff. It's been one game.
No. Yeah, that's obviously that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm still. By the way, I'm still of the opinion that we shouldn't hire him. Right? Like even if he has a Ollie type bounce, because I think Ollie won a crazy amount of games when he first came in, and they actually gave him the contract when we started to nosedive, which was weird. But even if Carrick got, I don't know, 12, 13 wins out of however many games, or even 10 plus wins, I still don't think it would be the right call to hire him permanently. And there are definitely some PTSD from that Ollie appointment around it that make me go, this is definitely not the plan, right? You want them to have a plan as a football club as to what they're going to do. And they definitely didn't plan to have Carrick in. So if he performs well, it will just feel like it's very reactionary, and we're just putting him in because he's done pretty well, and the wheels will fall off at some point, like they did with Ollie. So this was one very good performance, and yeah, we've got a big game coming up, which will probably be a lot more challenging considering the form City are in. Bodo Glimt and those lot managed to batter them as well. So that does put the win in context. It felt very good on Saturday. After Bodo Glimt slapped them up, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not that amazing. But Khem, go on, throw your digs in, bro. I know you want to throw some digs in. You're ill, you're grumpy, and we're talking United. So
well, you took what I was going to just mention about City. They're actually in a bad run, though, aren't they? They're 3 straight draws, then slapped. What was it, Exeter, and then got a good win against Newcastle. But then derbies are derbies, aren't they? Like they've always been like that, though. It doesn't matter. Like Man City used to beat you guys back when they were playing at Main Road. With was it Gota in the up front? Like it's the same when we
Dickov and Gota, yeah.
Well, we obviously take care of our neighbours, unlike you guys, but like most and Arsenal will take care of Spurs, to be fair. So maybe it's just you lot. But when we play each other, when we were crap, we would actually do quite well against you guys, even at Old Trafford. And then in the roles are reversed, where you have a decent record at Anfield, even when we're supposed to be much better than you. There's been times when we can't even get a shot on target. You outplayed them. I think you just took advantage of Pep's arrogance yet again. Whenever everything seems to be set up for him to just get a simple victory, he somehow finds a way to fuck it up. And I guess he's trying to adjust a new style as well by seems like he's trying to return to having some flying wingers on the sides. And yeah, you overran their midfield, which is crazy because one of your midfielders hasn't really had any minutes. One of them, the football did leave him a couple of years ago, apparently. And then the other one, like you said, isn't supposed to be playing midfield. So you guys did really well. I think when you said should Carrick stay, it's a tricky one because obviously, like if he does well, it's a weird one because it's you even said when you were going nuts, like when you won, like he's undefeated as an interim. So if he does have if he sneaks into the top 4, you might have to reward him. It's his second stint of maternity cover. Like at some point, you got to give him the permanent job. You know what I mean?
No, man. No, you give him a bonus. That's what money's for. That's where you go. Here you go, Carrick. Here's sure, 1 million.
We've been talking about LinkedIn already. You can't send him back to it straight away. Like if he performs, then you have to give him a chance. I hope you do. But if it's not Carrick, then obviously, then I'm sure Southgate will be the one to come in. So you got to pick of the two. But in terms of the actual match, I think Ahmad had a crazy game. He always finds a way to step up in the big matches. It's more, can he be consistent? I think Kinder Bueno came back and did well, let his country down, but did well for you guys. Solid performance. Even dog shit did well. Like you crushed them in the match. But you weren't saying many nice things about this guy for like. I've
never sullied his name. Right, to use Io's lingo, I've never sullied his name. Let's not call him dog. Whatever you just said, please.
Dog. He had that dog in him last Saturday. He absolutely popped off. AO's gone. So fair enough. But no, solid win. Glad you're happy. Congrats on even your goal difference has been positive for a while. So yeah, man, you might be.
Mate.
It is. I know. We'll get onto our lot, but no, solid win, solid performance. It's more like can you now go on from this? Arsenal's a tricky game for you guys. Can you have a style of play that's the United way? Because that seems to be the topic of conversation across every podcast, apparently. Even Nicky Butt wants to get one. Will the style of play get Fergie's blessing? Like all these different things. So just see how it goes between now and May, really.
Yeah, I was hoping we weren't going to bring that up, but thanks for ruining that. But yeah, man.
No, but don't fall into the carrot trap. Don't fall into the carrot trap.
I'm not. I will
What
not.
trap?
I refuse.
It's like when someone's been in like a miserable, toxic relationship for an extended period of time, yeah, and then they get out of it, and then they meet someone who is almost equally bad, but is like marginally less bad, and because they're no longer in that situation, they're like, "Yo, is this love?" You know, like that anime meme of the guy with the butterfly. Like, is this love? No, it's not. It's not. Let it go. Let it go. Get a proper
Don't
gaffer.
worry, bro.
Is
Don't worry,
Fletcher?
bro.
Is Fletcher still around, or is he completely binned off?
No, let's not descend into absolute waffle. Yeah, he's in the under 18s. We're not talking about Fletcher or talking about United ways.
So he's still getting paid. I'm happy for him. The nepotism's still strong. It's good.
Yeah, man. Don't. This whole exercise is that. That's why me and Nash were crashing out last week, and this is the reason why everything. No, but everything Razor said is true though. Man's got pictures falling off the wall. Everything Razor's saying is true. But the thing is, man, the match going fans and the top reds and the ones that were giving Paul Pogba hell for 4 or 5 years. They're the ones that are going to be like pretty much demanding that he stays if he has that kind of run. I think most people who are not going to the stadium all the time or just like social fans or international fans will still kind of see it for what it is. I don't know, but Ollie stuff got everyone swept up, so it could. Who do you see
yourselves getting though? Realistically, like what's the consensus like amongst fans or journalists or what? Like who in the summer? Like
the
troll,
bookies, the bookies. If we want to take what they say seriously, have got Glasner's favorite. So Glasner's favorite with the bookies. So and obviously he's been moving mad. We're talking about Crystal Palace and everything going on there. So I think Glasner's one that's probably going to be in the running. Tuchel's still being talked about, so Tuchel might be someone, but I think that's a bit of a pipe dream. So I don't know, man. I think probably at the end of the season they'll make a decision, which goes back to my point about that doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence because it shows that they haven't got a plan.
Who would you want?
Worry me. They'll go with Carrick based on it.
Who would you want?
You just need You need a proven manager who will play to the strengths of the team and that will actually be able to tell Jason Wilcox to fuck off. And to do that, you need probably a Tuchel, that kind of caliber of manager. But whether that's doable or achievable, they're talking about Ancelotti, and I'm like, come on, man, leave him. He's late 60s. Don't put him through that. Yeah,
you're already putting a guy on that through stress, though. So might as well carry.
Yeah, exactly, but he's at least kind of if Ancelotti wants to come and watch matches, he's welcome. He can go through the same thing that Alex Ferguson's going through, but to make him the actual manager, as much as I love him, it's just too much stress. So to be honest, I don't even know, man. Let's see. I think, and I fear that a lot of people will fall in the trap, and I include our board in this. So I think what Razor said is probably a bit of a foreshadowing for what's going to happen. Obviously, if he stinks it up, then don't have to worry about that. Then we're back to square one. But all right, let's move on past United. Let's go on to Arsenal then. 1 win, 1 draw. Weren't able to capitalise on City losing on the weekend with a 0-0 draw at Forest. And then a big confidence booster to go to the San Siro, get 3-1 win against Inter. Jesus with a couple of goals, and even Victor Gyökeres scored. And he scored a good goal. It didn't come off his arse or his shin or his elbow. He proper binsed it. So comprehensive, man. I watched that game, and when Inter equalised, I thought, things might get a little bit frosty. But you, man, just took control of it pretty much straight away again. And, it was light work. What did you make of it, Razor? I'm guessing you were happy starting with the Inter game. How did you feel?
Joyful. What a time to be a Gooner. Nah, man, it was beautiful. Like at the San Siro. Like that's a top European side, isn't it? Yeah. And we've been so nervous about so many of them games historically. Do you know what I mean? Like we pull up, we're a little bit shaky. Even in the early stages of the competition, we're still like, and yeah, like you said, they equalized, and yeah, I was like, because they were like, I think they were like one of the only teams to beat us in the group stage last season in the Champions League. Yep. So I was like, here we go again. Maybe we haven't like gone as far along the journey as I thought we had, but to be honest, it was seriously encouraging, especially considering the fact that we like rotated quite heavily in terms of our starting 11. I know it wasn't like we weren't like being disrespectful and getting like the reserves out. It was still definitely players that, you know, are competitive for it, but it wasn't our strongest team to start. So I think that was something that I found really encouraging. And then beyond that, the goal for Gyökeres, basically he saw all of the chat on the internet. You know what I mean? Everyone was saying like him and Saka were potentially beefing and that. And he said, listen, we're brethren. I'll show you. I'm going to force this guy to assist me. Kicked it off man's heel and deposited it. Finish. And yeah, man, it was good. It's nice to see like players like Jesus, who's been injured, and he's obviously had a run of confidence. And I think like Jesus did an interview after the game, and he basically just said like they're not really thinking about like competing in that way. They're all thinking about competing against everyone else, which seems to be a nice thing. It's like it looks like we're gonna have 3 attackers that are hopefully 4 if you count Marino. I don't want to trigger Ayo, but yeah, that are like sort of looking like they want to compete for the game that we can throw into different tactical situations. I think that's a positive thing ultimately. So yeah, I was really happy with Inter. Less happy with Forest, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah, the Forest one was proves maybe a bit more of the point that Khem was trying to say about and if you look at the top 8 in the Champions League now, I swear 5 of the 6 English teams are in the top 8. So clearly the quality when compared with Europe is probably higher in the Premier League in terms of the individual teams. But when it comes to stronger teams playing against each other, and I don't know if we can even classify Forest as one of the stronger teams looking at where they are this season, but last season they definitely were one of the better teams. You get a 0-0. And as much as Arsenal had some chances, Gabriel Martinelli, don't know how he's missed that one on literally in front of the goal. And then you had the Aina potential penalty, which we'll chat through in a minute. There wasn't that many other big chances. It was kind of a bit of a boring stalemate. You definitely had more of them and probably just about deserved to win, but it wasn't like I don't think it's overly crazy that game ended fairly low scoring. It was the tale of the tapes. What did you make of it, Khem, as a rival fan and a bit of an Arsenal hater? What did you make of both the games?
The Forest Arsenal game, yeah, was a bit drab, but Forest they do that often anyway when they play against a stronger side. Martinelli, shocking miss. Saka went missing again. But like they bounced back, you know, you got the result in Milan. Even after we were in the middle of like our shit run, even we beat them, so I wouldn't get too carried away. Like we went and got a clean sheet there, like, and that was in the middle of Salah's flipping civil war. Like, okay, well done. but yeah, solid win. Like, you're through. You can rest some players in the next match and stuff against the £265 ticket team, whoever you're playing against. Your cousins, I think. But the Forest game just sums up this season. The 17th draw, the quality. What I'd say is the floor. The Premier League, in terms of the Premier League, the floor is higher and the ceiling is lower. So it's very difficult to play against the lower teams. I think the money is a big part of it as well. I think that's why our teams are doing really well in the group phase and the Europa League as well. You still got the guys doing all right there. Palace are kind of letting the side down in the Conference League a little bit. But, you know, you don't have Villarreal and like Benfica and these lot like splashing the cash like a Spurs or a Newcastle will, and obviously our bigger teams. So I think that's just showing itself. But the group phase, you don't get any trophies in January. We saw it last season. We tore it apart last season. It meant fuck all. So you just have to see who you draw and see if you catch anyone who are kind of hot, who are able to rest their players, because they don't have to play against a strong Forest in their leagues. The Bayern Munichs, the Real Madrids, but the Barcelonas, they can rest their best players because their league stinks. Whereas we actually have to compete because, like I said, the floor is higher. It's just in terms of battling at the top. But you know who isn't in that top 8? The team in second in our league.
Yeah.
They suck. They lost to you lot, and then they lost to Bozo. So Haaland went home and couldn't even get it done. So well done. You guys are on a roll. You know, you're doing your thing. You're doing your thing. You're getting a job done where you need to. You will win the Prem. Let's see if you can, you know, add to that with the domestic cup and see if you can go and make a Champions League final and win that as well. You must. You must. You must.
All right. Surely you've gotten a bit of a bad rap for being a negative Arsenal fan, but surely you.
Oh, have we lost that?
Less so, Forest.
I missed the second half of your question. You dropped out for a bit. What did you say?
So you're happy with the Inter performance, right, and the result, and less so with the Forest game.
I'm a happy fan. I've just been what do you call it, misprofiled by my fellow Arsenal fans. I think that's the best way to describe my. As I've always tried to proclaim, I'm a realistic Arsenal fan. So I think that is just sometimes realism looks different. You know what I mean? It's in the eye of the beholder sometimes, as they say, beauty is. That's how my realism is as well. But we are no. I think obviously I'm happy. It was good. It was a good performance against Inter. God, I think any time you go to San Siro or you go play Inter, coming out with a result is really impressive. Good to see some open play goals. That's always a welcome change. It's been a while. That's good to see. I was getting really sick of it's sad to be as I've said, seeing my team set piece kings again. Certain people might be turning their grave, but alas, if it gets us the Prem, then what can we really complain about? I guess so. That's the pill I've got to swallow. And again, all pause, but don't make reactions, please. Settle down. And the Forest game. I think that just. I think now I see that. I remember when I've had other friends in group chat saying it's just the type of the Prem teams just play completely different compared to when you play in Europe. And I guess when you see our results, it kind of does. I don't agree with what Khem says in any point in time, but I think you kind of see that teams completely in the Prem. It's just the way they set up is you just really cannot play through them unless you have a certain player on the bench that we signed from Crystal Palace. But alas, we don't get to play him in the Prem. We don't get to see him too much. But we have to. You need those people to kind of to break through the lines. But we don't get to see that. But a Forest game, I think that was drop points, but we're still 7 points clear. So we'll just thank God that City lost and that. But it could have been more. But got to be grateful. It's been a while since, like I say, we've been 7 points clear at the top, and we actually look pretty convincing, like Europe. And so, all in all, we're good. Just a bit of a, there's a Starboys in Marseille right now with the riffraff right now, and that's kind of not happy about that one. But you can't have everything in life, it seems. So
Sorry, did you say it's a while since you saw your team 7 points clear?
and looking this way, 7 points
Oh.
clear. Yes.
Oh,
If you want to add something, mate, say it with your chest, all right?
I can just recall a few times in recent memory where you were further ahead than that, and yeah.
Go, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Keep it going. Say what you want to say, Khem. If you don't want to say it, don't say it all.
You put the pressure on. I remember that.
No, without, I think we look a lot better than we looked in. I think we just look a lot sturdier, which is, I think that's the one thing that we always used to. We're leaking goals, but now it seems like we've just kind of shored everything up in that regards, and I think that's the one thing we can be really confident about with VAR, that we just don't look like leaky whatsoever. What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I mean, we drew and extended our gap at the top of the table for this game week, which is really the only thing that matters. And yeah, I mean, it's all fine margins. Anyway. Like, if the penalty gets given, if Martinelli doesn't scuff it, Jock had a decent chance. I think Declan Rice had a decent chance. Like, it's all fine margins. But ultimately, I don't know how we can start the game week 6 points clear and finish the game week more than 6 points clear. And man, do you know what? I applaud your performance though, Lana.
What was negative about what I said?
I don't know. You're really like you're rebranding, and I respect it.
Into what?
Into a positive guy, into an actual fan. I see you though.
I've always
for the parade. If we make it to the summit, you know what I mean? You're gonna be there in time for the parade to be like, 100%. I've been positive all along. But we know. No.
That part I want to be there. I'll still be doing all the God if need be. If that time comes.
Also, I just want to do a point of reference here. Khem wants to run agendas, but he's not articulating himself correctly. He said this was the 17th draw of the season. I'm sure that's not true. I think he means it was the 17th 0-0 draw of the season, which he was being disingenuous with, because we established in the group chat that was completely irrelevant in terms of the wider Premier League historical context. Go and check the facts. If anyone would like to see the numbers, I've got them. He's seen them. He just wanted to be a liar. So anyway, now that we've done that, I want to move. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you know what I mean? It was a game of it's fine margins. Any one of them chances, Gabby, I can't even be mad with him though. Like, he's been balling this season. Had he done that in a normal in a one of the recent Gabriel Martinelli runs, where I'm like, this guy has not seen the goal in time, then I can hear it. But like, bro, like every now and again you're gonna miss a chance. If we get one of them, if the penalty that should have been a penalty gets given and it gets converted, we're going to be on the pod having a different conversation. We're going to be talking about how we robbed 3 points from a stinkfest that had draw written all over it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, how mad can I be? Should I be mad about the penalty? Should I be mad about the miss? Should I be mad about life like Ayo? I can't be mad when I'm 7 points clear, bro. It feels too good.
Cakewalk, man.
You know what? I just got respect Ola Aina's trolling though. That was brilliant trolling. I can't fault it, to be fair. He's a bastard, but I respect him, man. Yeah. If you're gonna cheat, own up to it and hold down. Don't do it in that way. Exactly.
He learned from Thierry Campbell.
Yeah, wait. Are we all? I floated it in the group chat. We're all 100% certain that was a pen, yeah. Just to get everyone's agreement on it.
Yeah, he cradled it, man.
I don't even know what a penalty is anymore, because I've seen players kicked in the chest and nothing's given. Man.
Yeah.
What about you?
We need to see.
You?
I've said this before.
This very specific handball.
The referees in this country are trash, man. Like, the one thing where Brexit actually set us back bad was the fact that we can't just get someone else in, even if they're second generation. Like, we're stuck with these gammon fucking idiots in Stockley Park for the foreseeable future. Like, we're actually screwed, bro. So
anyway,
I don't know. I don't know what a pen is anymore. It changes every week.
So we've got two of you saying Stonewall. Khems hasn't answered, right? He's just moaned about PGMOL, right? My thing is they've completely confused it, because on the viewing it looks like he's caressed it back in play. But the thing that they said was it was because Elliot Anderson pushes him, or someone pushes Anderson who pushes him, and therefore it was like because we had one like that a while back. Martinez, it hit his hand, but because someone had pushed him, like just leading up to that, they basically said that it wasn't a handball because he was kind of pushed into the ball rather than. But with this one, it's kind of hard to say that because he shoulders it and then he cradles it in.
Yeah,
and
it's a penalty.
He's probably going to do that regardless of whether Elliot Anderson's going to push him or not. So
do you know why? Do you know why it's definitely a penalty? Because he did that to prevent a corner. Like if Arsenal weren't so deadly from corners, he would have probably let it bounce off his shoulder and he would have fallen on his face and styled it out. But he managed to flipping control that.
Controlled it, literally.
Freaking better than any of the Houston Texans receivers, and freaking cradle that out to the side, and then But like I said, the refs
doesn't excuse us. It doesn't excuse us.
No, we should be.
That's why I don't personally want to be like, oh, we should have had a pen. We should have had a pen. Like we should have had a pen, but we made more than enough chances. Yeah, we should be beating Forest, especially the format.
Martinelli should have scored that. Martinelli should have scored that. That is better than a pen opportunity. He's like 3 yards out with basically an open goal. I know what you're saying. He's played well, and generally off the bench as well. Really performed really well.
Should have scored it. He should have scored it. No,
that stinks. Yeah, but
a lot match. Sean Dyche match.
A lot of teams, and Sean Dyche was waffling shit after the game as well with Keown. But it's tricky, right? Because in the Prem, if we look solely in the Prem, you've had a couple of draws, 2-0 nils on the bounce. Right, mate. But if you look at the Champions League, pretty comfy, right? And then you're playing my boys next week, where you should slap them. So
I think that's the problem. Yeah, I think it's just. But as you said, I think it's just the league. It's just teams set up completely so negative against us. Like I never thought that was a thing because I do think obviously it's a thing. I do think you can be more creative, and that's why I'm always like Eze over Odegaard. But when you see us playing the Champions League, you can see the difference in the way teams set up against us. And they might be more defensive, but it's just not a constant. You trying to play through just a backline constantly, and it's just a brick wall of people just facing to you. But that's what you get in the Prem every single week at the moment now.
Bro, but it's not only the system, it's the quality of players that are being asked to carry out the system. Because people have played low block bet, like it's been going on since the beginning of time, that the crapper teams in the top division will always set up a bit more cautiously against the best ones. But the difference is Forest they've got a bunch of players that they've bought from like top leagues, like some of the top teams in the top leagues. They just signed another like Napoli striker like today. In what other league is someone who's fighting relegation able to go to a top 4, top 3 team in another league and buy one of their players? Like it's getting good enough players to carry out that housery type performance. Like the Prem has got 10 to 12 teams that have got good enough players to carry it out well enough. So you're going to have them. It's just because you guys have been burnt in other title charges or title challenges with a lot of draws. I think a lot of fans go, "Oh, here we go, Arsenal drawing again."
It's PTSD, bro. It's real, bro.
Do you guys think that that this is where like football is just changing, or certainly in the league? And I'd say maybe right now Arteta's like ahead of that curve in terms of adapting to how the game's changing. Because like even now Pep's now struggling to figure it out. Like all the team. This is what I was trying to say the other day. Like a lot of the teams, let's say the mid pack, a lot of them play very similarly. Like there's always crazy results every other week, so we can say it's competitive, but like it's almost like most of those teams home advantage doesn't really even matter anymore. Like they'll win one game and then they'll get slapped another. Like, do you think the game is changing from what a lot of teams were doing recently, which was like a lot of times they were trying to coach them to play out from the back, etc., etc. Now it's like they're okay with being more direct, a bit more pragmatic, a bit more having, holding what you have kind of thing, and then it's like just countering that kind of stuff. Like, and maybe we're all looking at it and calling it boring, but maybe the game's just changing. Like the players, like the athleticism's gone up as well. Like, does anyone see that? Like maybe it's just football's like changing, like the style of players are changing, the coaching's changing, and a lot of managers are struggling to adapt to that.
A lot of managers are just doing. A lot of managers just do what is going on around the league. You answered your own question. So before, when Pep was the leader of the pack and he was smashing everything and winning everything, and he was playing out from the back, everyone tried to copy that, or a lot of teams did, and it's progressively happened over time. You don't just suddenly go from that directly to all of the top teams trying to do Rory Delap settings overnight. Like it's going to happen over time. I don't think Arteta's the one to blame for it. Definitely not.
No, I didn't say he's to blame. I said I think he's being ahead in terms of dealing with that. I feel like Arsenal.
He's just willing. He's just willing to do it as well, right? Whereas the difference is, if you look at Pep, it seems like Pep is he's like anti the system for everything. So back when everyone was like, trying to be more fast and direct and a bit more physical, he would want to get the 4'5" orchestrators in midfield to pass the ball 1,000 times. And now, when everyone started copying him, or doing this long ball stuff, he wants to suddenly play like Jurgen Klopp and go and get his assistant and do whatever else. He's just going to do whatever's against the grain. But it's not going to work now. You can see it's not going to work, right? Like if you look at the strength of the team, to go back to the strengths of the teams, he can't play to Haaland's strength and win to the level of domination with the current standard of some of the other teams out there. Because before you go and buy Semenyo, you had a Semenyo at 4 or 5 other teams that can tear you to shreds on the counter. Before we bought Mbeumo, he was the same kind of thing at Brentford. Or you've got so many players like that who are at these middling teams that can tear you to shreds. So it's not going to work out well unless he goes full, like he starts to throw the long throws in, do the corners and do whatever else and kind of fit in. But I don't see that happening.
I think it's about the money. There's so much money in the Prem. Like there's so much at stake. I think the incentive for middle of the pack, or even like teams that know that they're going to be in like a potentially relegation sort of scrap position, to play pragmatic over entertaining is super, super strong. You don't want to be a yo-yo club. You don't want to go down and then run the risk of not coming back up for however long. There's money to be made at the top end of the table, especially if, as there have been in times in recent years, some of the big 6, big 7, 8 clubs aren't having the kind of seasons that they would expect to, finishing in places lower down the table. That means that stuff is up for grabs. And I think it makes it very cagey. And I think that's the thing about like English football now. It's like in the league, it's everything's like very like sort of schematic. And the only time you get a bit of a run on in the game is when a team scores or creates enough of like a way around it, and then like another team's chasing it a little bit, and then it's going back and forth, and you get goals in transition. Other than that, there had to be something that had to tip it to like break through all of that. Do you know what I mean? And I just think, like I said when we were talking about Reese's favorite Super Chelsea team, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I don't actually think Arsenal are this Stoke City Pulis reincarnated that everyone is making us out to be. I think it's a little bit disingenuous. I think a lot of people love taking the mickey out of Arsenal, whether we win, whether we lose. And it's funny because of how lots of Arsenal fans react. So I hear it, innit? But in all seriousness, I think it's like, we're seeing it in Europe. Do you know what I mean? When teams turn up and go, yeah, we want to play football, we're like, okay, let's play football. And we'll score 3-4 goals against you. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just think like teams don't want that in the Prem. Like they're not willing to risk that in the Prem, because come the end of the season, if you've let 4, 5, 6 teams run the scoreboard up against you, you're putting yourself in a position that like you could regret it. You could be out of a Europe place because of that. You could miss out on several £1 million because of that. You could be in a relegation scrap because of that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I just think like the stakes are so high right now financially, and everyone, as Khem would say, all the laptop nerds, all the boffins, like they're not trying to lose anything. So it's gotten very, very tactical, very, very cagey. But boo, I don't like it. I would like it. Let us get a trophy, and then you can make it fun again. That's
I'm glad that you agreed. So we have video evidence of that, because in the group you weren't agreeing. So I'm glad that that's there.
No. What I said in the group. Oh, look, this is the second time that you've lied.
Pragmatic, cagey.
You liar.
Afraid to risk anything. Sounds familiar to the other day.
What I said was, people are incapable of discerning between the difference of the Prem being less entertaining because
you just admitted finding it boring as well.
Because it is more pragmatic. Because it is more. Yeah, but I said you can find it boring, but what you can't say is that it's a lower quality. And you started, and that's why you came out with this. Lower ceiling, higher floor.
Exactly.
No, your team's just in the middle of the pack.
It's not about my team. I was talking about the league.
The top team in the league is still doing like we're literally on course with where the league leaders were last season. We're doing like I don't understand where this comes from, other than from fans who are disappointed with how their team goes. I bet none of Ant's boys are going to start saying, "Oh, the Prem's terrible quality" anymore. If they're able to get a result. They're not going to get a result this weekend, hopefully. But after that, like if you string 3, if my man gets to cut his hair, are you not going to still be going, "Oh yeah, like the league's the worst quality"? No, it's not, bro. Like, just admit it. You're looking for excuses, and you haven't found any, and you won't find any, and I rebuke it.
But if you think about like what a lot of people classify beautiful football, like tiki-taka, or I don't know, like total football, or if you like really, counter-attacking quick football or whatever it is, I do think there's an argument to say that with all of those styles, or most of them, in I don't know, the last 20 years or whatever, we've reached a level where I don't know if teams can actually, and the players individually can get any better at those styles. So then you have other people that set up defensively, and if they do their job just as well, you're at complete deadlock. Let's say you've got a team playing unbelievable tiki-taka against a team playing unbelievable prime Jose Housery type defensive low block style football. You are going to get stalemates. And then that's the reason why a lot of people, when they go for the Arsenal set piece thing, you're angry at the result and not the cause. Because how do you break a deadlock when the game can't be like you can't unpick a game because the opposition team have got too many good players playing a really defensive style? Is you think of other ways that are going to be able to do that. So you start sending, I don't know, 7 players at the back post to go and bum rush the goalie and do whatever tactics or whatever else. You become strong at corners. You score bare corners. Because what the point Razor made earlier is true. As soon as a goal comes in, the game changes completely. Then the other team has to open up. They have to come up and actually try and score a goal. And then you're going to have more of a basketball scenario. And then Arsenal have proven, and a lot of good teams have proven that when that happens, they generally will beat the other team because they've got better players. So I hear it. But for the entertainment value, it does. But you shouldn't blame only the team scoring the corners. You should also be blaming the teams doing the low block. And that's why you watch in Europe, Inter are not going to do some low block, man. Even though they play with a back 5, and I know people in this country think back 5 means defensive, they actually tried to play, and Arsenal slapped them. And even Liverpool slapped them, and probably other teams that are better quality will slap them. Unless you're a Greek team playing against Chelsea, you probably won't see a back 10 or whatever. You know what I mean? In Europe, most of the European teams actually go for it. So yeah, man. We'll see. I'm sure Khem will keep the agendas about boring shit football if Arsenal win the league, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think it's too drastically different than last year, and Liverpool won the league. So, you know what I mean? It can be applied in many different ways. Let's go on to Liverpool now then, Khem. You've got similar set of results to Arsenal, to be honest. A big win in Europe, 3-0 away in Marseille, where Ayo's favourite star boy is heading. And, an ex-star boy that shall not be named from my club. And then you also drew at home to Burnley, which pretty similar again to Arsenal. Stinky Premier League performance. Szoboszlai misses a penalty, and Burnley were definitely in that game. So what do you make of both of the games, Khem? I'm assuming one happy, one not so happy.
Yeah, it's important to I'm glad that we're still in the Champions League, more or less. But then again, you never know. Your cousins in Karabakh might have something for us. If anything, we've actually been worse against the teams we should beat, and we've been somehow able. We can beat Atletico and Real and Inter and Marseille, but then we'll stink it up against like Galatasaray and PSV. So I still don't trust them. We'll see how they get it done. But the Burnley game on paper looks shit. We only beat them with a last minute penalty at their ground. But the only thing that seems a little bit positive for the team, and especially the manager for both games, is they created a lot of chances, and he seems to finally be playing a system that suits the players and their profiles a bit better, both in possession and out of possession, but especially in possession. We're still a little bit weird, I think, with our press, but it was one of those games where it's true. Most of the other draws we were shy, but this is one of those ones, the Burnley game, where I think we had like nearly 30 shots and I think double digits on target. It's one of those ones where they didn't finish their dinner. They didn't score. The penalty miss, I think a couple of goal line clearances, and then they concede one chance, decent finish. Maybe usually I'd actually expect Alisson to save it, and is what it is. You get punished. That's the Prem. The high floor, low ceiling Prem that it is. So Burnley, credit to them. Marseille, good performance. Again, we look good against European teams, similar to what Skip Bayless was on about. Like, well, they'll come out and play because Slot's kryptonite that he keeps crying about with teams sitting back, as if that's never happened for fucking decades against Liverpool. Even Steven Gerrard told him to shut up about it. Like, Jesus Christ, man, it happens all the time. You just call it low block. Fucking 10 years ago, we just said park the bus. Before that, we just said drop deep. Like, whatever. Call it what you want. It happens. But, like, good win. Very good win. It was nice to see him play the fullbacks as they should. Frimpong adds, like, another element to that team. Can we keep him fit? That would be good because he's already pulled his hamstring twice. So we'll see if we can last in multiple games in a row. Kirkez on the other side. Again, another solid game from him. He's really coming on strong. Hugo, wonderful game. I think he needs to stay blonde, by the way, because when he was blonde at the start of the season, we were 5 points clear. So he might need to leave that, or I'll accept highlights at least. Like, don't dye your hair, bro. Keep it the same, because that might be that's when you're bad, when you start looking at random shit like that. I don't really know how McAllister is getting minutes, but it is what it is. Szoboszlai, a very good performance again. Joe Gomez, good to see him come back in and do his thing, because I think Konate had a family. I think his father passed or something, so that's why he missed the match. But we'll see. The Bournemouth game, will he play a similar style, or will he fuck it up and play the landlord, his nephew, his child out of wedlock, and completely stink it up again in terms of our style of play, and just go back to the 4-3-3 and not let Wirtz roam, not let Gravenberg be part of the build-up in the back three, not let McAllister, Szoboszlai, Jones, whoever it is, be the chaos in the midfield, not bring someone in as a second striker. What's he going to do? Is he going to stick to what works, or is he going to play his landlord and then change everything up again? So that's what I'll wait and see. It's about him getting a run of games, something entertaining to watch as well, to look forward to. That's all I kind of need right now. Get top 4, go on a CL run, go on an FA Cup run, see how it goes, and then reevaluate in the summer.
What did Cody Gakpo do to you, bro?
He is so hurt by him. I've never seen.
Did he steal your girl or something?
There is something deeper than just the footballing.
Let's go. You must. Do you not speak to any other Liverpool fans? Am I the only Liverpool fan that you speak to? Am I the only? I must be the only Liverpool fan that you guys speak to, because you seem shocked that the majority of the fan base are disgusted with his play. Let me give you a run of results, okay? When we were stinking it up, the worst, somehow we're 13 games unbeaten, and I think 12 of them have been god-awful, right? Only the Marseille game is legit. Like, all the others have been trash, okay? So, we drew with Sunderland, we drew with Leeds. Then we win 3 straight. Brighton, Spurs, stinker, 9-men Spurs. That's when I stopped watching. And then scraped against Wolves, the worst team in the league, potentially Premier League history. Then it's 4 straight draws, freaking Leeds, Fulham, Arsenal, Burnley, okay? Those 3 straight wins, Gakpo was injured. The guy comes back, it's 4 straight draws. He gets left out against Marseille, and we pop them 3-0. I don't want to hear anything about... Yeah, he did when in the last... He got 10 minutes. He got 10 minutes and he scored a counter-attack because Marseille bombed forward because your ex-player, your actual star boy, the wife beater, was still balling out trying to set up Aubameyang. But then Alisson was saving our ass again, actually, because it could have very easily been a 2-1 and that velodrome gets hot very quickly. So we could have fallen apart. If we can't handle Ellen Road, I don't know how we'd handle the velodrome. So thank God for Alisson for 2 big saves. He comes on last minute. Decent finish, but there's no one there to defend him. You should be scoring that one. Okay, fair enough. Salah fucked up his 1v1. He tried to do another Trivella thing like he did in AFCON and completely shanked it. So I don't know what he was doing there. He had a Brahim Diaz moment, it seems like. But either way, in terms of the majority of the match, he can't be starting. We can't be building a team around him. He's an impact player. That's when he had his best form last season. That's how he should be remaining. It's better for the team, the setup of the team. The Kirkers can bomb up and down like he's supposed to. Wirtz can roam. He's not running in the same places as Ekitike either. It's not hate. It's just a fact, okay? He's been absolutely shy. His levels with Saka, apparently, with the stats in the Prem. But for us, he's still just not that guy. He can't be that guy starting for us. I'm sorry. If we want to achieve it, he should be a starter.
He's frustrating for sure. I get it. If he was in my team, because he's like a high volume player, when he a lot of his actions are like you mentioned. You're not lying when you say he cuts in, he shoots. Like that's
his goal was a freaking cut in again. Just no one was there. He still did the touch and cut in, but no one was there. It's like he's addicted to it. It's like all he can do.
Yeah, but he scored. So I mean, I don't. I get it when he misses and when he has royal stinkers, but I think when it crosses to a gender,
last minute when we're 2-0 up, man. I'm okay. Thanks. It helped our goal.
Yeah, okay, but that's just a game where you don't chat about him. But I don't know. You still forced to like negativity when he's rubbish. Fair enough, but I just feel like
he got 10 minutes.
It's a bit much,
he got 10 minutes. We won. When he played 80 minutes, we struggled against Burnley. And that was 4 straight draws.
And that's the whole team. Your whole team struggled.
When he was injured, we won 3 straight. When he was injured, we won 3 straight. When he came back, we drew 4 straight games. When he was on the bench for the majority of the game, we won. Okay, I'm just saying a pattern. Argue that.
I know, but you just not. I'm not arguing with that. I mean, those stats are not good for him. But these man also said it's not 11. It's not like a 100-man versus a gorilla type 11 versus Cody. Like you've got 11 versus 11, bro. Like you can't put everything on him. And then you just mentioned those 3 wins that you said he was injured for, but also mentioned they were diabolical wins. So it's not like you suddenly started turning into, I don't know, Johan Cruyff's Netherlands or whatever in those 3 games when he was out. You scraped wins.
What did he do?
So I don't know. Man.
Did he leave you? Why do you hate Cody?
I think he right now actually might be better off playing up front because he's not going to pass it anyway. So really and truly, in the current setup, if he's playing like a split striker kind of thing that he was doing he tried with Isak and Hugo until Isak broke his leg, and then he did the other day with Salah and Ekitike. He could do that. I think he'd do really well in that because he's tall, so he's an out ball. If we have to go long, if we have to launch the ball forward, rather, let's do that instead. Obviously, he's an aerial threat from a set piece, but in terms of this, he's not a winger. We play him wide, but he doesn't play like a winger. Like what we need is someone to actually take someone on and be a threat and be able to carry the ball as well. He doesn't do like. Well, I don't like Martinelli that much, but where I'll give him credit is he does have the ability to carry the ball, relieve pressure, hold it up, turn back, recycle. Cody isn't capable of doing that on the wing. and he's our only option out there because maybe recruitment was a bit poor. But in terms of the performance for the rest of the team, it was okay. But again, it was a European team that we're trying to attack. Can we do the same thing against the Premier League sides that usually want to be, direct, compact, really well drilled, out of position, which most of the teams seem to be out of possession, not position. Like that's where Slot will have to prove himself, and then actually see if it's not just like a flash in the pan kind of result for this team. Man.
500 M's to be talking about recruitment. I know. Mad thing, bro.
What a time.
Mad thing, bro.
Well, they did sell. It's not like they only bought, bro. They did like.
All right, we're not getting into net spend.
Fuck you.
I'm not getting into net spend. I just referenced like if we're talking about.
No, I get your point. I get your point.
A good one didn't replace him. Diaz.
But can I just say, can the record reflect that when I believe I can't speak for anyone else on this topic, but I'm gonna speak for myself. When I said whoa, when Khem was talking about the actual demon that used to be a Red Devil, it wasn't because I didn't agree with your characterization of my man. It was just because you're an absolute wildling, and I didn't know what you were gonna say next. So yeah, just let the record reflect that I actually did agree with Khem on the description used, but I wanted to preemptively distance myself from whatever he decided to utter next.
He's not on that guy. He's
no.
He's actually scored 20. I think he's already on 20 goals this season. By the way, I don't
care. He should be on zero.
Do you think?
Let's move on.
England would ever select him?
No, let's move on.
I'm not doing it.
We've dropped even lower levels than net spend. All right, let's move on away from Liverpool and all of that waffle. Let's go on to Chelsea. Reece is not here, but 2 wins. It's weird. He only turns up when he's ready to crash, apparently. But they've got 2 dubs. 1-0 win against Paphos. Didn't even know that was a team. Can't lie. No offense to any of the Greek man out there. Thought it was a restaurant or something. Didn't know it was a team, but big them up. 1-0 win. Chelsea also beat Brentford 2-0. Now that one, I don't know if you lot saw that game, but boy, I'd be a little bit miffed if I was a Brentford fan or a Brentford player because they had a lot of chances, and Robert Sanchez was probably Chelsea's best player in that game. Cole Palmer scored a pen, and João Pedro scored what looked like an offside goal originally, but in the end, I think he was onside. But definitely Brentford could feel hard done by. I'm not expecting this to be a long segment, lads. Chelsea get 2 wins. It looks like they're going to qualify from Champions League, but in the Prem, they're lower than us. Discuss. Io, you haven't chat for a minute. What's your take on Chelsea at the moment?
To be fair, it's annoying that they've got the wins, and obviously it feels like Crisinho he might talk a lot of crap, but he's getting the wins now to back it up. So I think as long as he keeps doing that part, then he's gonna keep talking and making these press conferences that Reece hates. But it seems like the players might slowly be buying into it. It might be something different to what they've had. So maybe this might be good for them. I think Enzo's been really good the last few games. I usually don't really rate him, but he's had some good performances. I think I caught a couple clips of the Brentford game. I didn't watch the whole thing, obviously. But definitely saw some chances for Shada, I think, as well. I had him on my fantasy. He missed a couple sitters, I think, and that was heartbreaking. And then, obviously, when I finally put Thiago in over Igor Jesus, he decides not to score ever again. So it's I finally made amends for my mistake, and look what that brought me. I think that's like that meme. It was like that Thanos meme. You lived your failure, and look where it brought you. Back to literally right back to where.
But Igor Thiago is like that though, bro. Because I had him in my fantasy. He didn't score. Then I dropped him, and then he scored like a hat trick and mad other goals. And then I put him back in, and he went on another goalless run. So he's one of those players you need to be careful of him.
Yeah, no, it's bad. But I think Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea have any reason to complain. To be fair, considering how bad they seem to be, like a lot of dysfunction, and they could have like fallen off the rails, but yeah, the fact they got 2 wins. Well, I think that's his 3rd win now, I think, for him. And then obviously just the loss to us like last week in the cup. So yeah, I think all in all they should feel good. I really wish Reece was here. I think he would have offered some perspective that we needed. But yeah, from the outside looking in, I don't think Chelsea fans can be too angry because they weren't doing too well before anyway, so they should be happy.
And apparently they're signing another player as well. I saw they're linked with Jack Hay, I think his name, from Rennes, the young centre back. So they're still trying to. Douglas Luiz. Apparently they're looking at getting him from Forest, break his loan, and bring him in. So I think Chelsea is so hard to keep up with because you haven't only got to keep up with the performances on the pitch. You've also got to keep up with all the other extra shit that's going on in the transfer market and whatever else they're doing. True, managers. Are we still making fun of Rosenia or?
Yes, he's weird.
It seemed like I was a little bit more positive about him today.
No, he's a weird guy, man.
Absolutely no.
He's severely autistic.
Reece's cousin is still on fraud watch.
Reece Senior.
Yeah.
I saw a thing where I don't know, but it's good to see a coach that's of colour getting a chance, man. I got to support that.
Yeah.
I've seen the Celtic guy got fired for less, man. So we take what we can get.
Fired for less. Let's be real. He had a
he was diabolical.
Nah,
man, he was diabolical.
I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know if he was to blame. I don't know if he fumbled the bag. But I saw the results, and it wasn't. You know the Sol Campbell meme. Do you know what that is? I know what that was.
It wasn't.
You know why that was, bro.
It wasn't good, but they pulled the trigger quicker than they would for like someone who looks like Amarim. I'm saying, okay. I'll leave that for everyone's interpretation. I remember West Brom had a coach that got relegated when he had no hope of staying up, and then they fired him anyway. Like, what was his name, man? Man, we need the Rooney Rule, to be honest, in the Premier League. We need the NFL Rooney Rule.
That is just a tick box exercise. It means nothing. It's just it is just a DEI aspect. It brings nothing. The Rooney Rule. It's just no.
It gives less chances to the Sean Dyches and the Moyes and the Alan Kirbishleys and the Sam Allardyces and the people that keep coming back when you think they're done. Even Roy Hodgson's linked with Palace again. They're gonna defrost him for fuck's sake from wherever he's whatever. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're right. You definitely need more chances for ethnic minorities. But if you bring in a rule like that, they have to interview a candidate. All they're going to do is interview that candidate just to tick it off and then never hire the person. It's literally what they do in the NFL every time.
I know, but it's better. Yeah. It's still an improvement on what we have right now. I know John's friends in Burnley won't be happy about it, but like we need something. We need a representation, man.
I hear what Kem's saying in the sense that like if in the Prem, not I hear it, but I think you can make a number argument in the sense it's top division. It's arguably the top division in the top like sort of regional area for club football in the world, and obviously institutional racism, advantages, played this, that, and third, structural issues. But when you go down the divisions, the story is basically the same, and I think that is what's really symptomatic of there actually being a problem there. I hate this pod. I hate that I've agreed with Khem more than once. Can we move on? Chelsea got away with a handball in their Champions League game, but so did Paphos. So I don't know what my point was. I wanted to stop agreeing with them.
I think we can agree on something.
I mean,
I hate you.
Nah, but
you're my best friend.
Chelsea Paphos. No, Chelsea. We've already spoken and we've said probably about 30 seconds worth of stuff on Chelsea Paphos. That's 30 seconds too much. Let's move on past it. They're winning at least, and I'm more hopeful that we'll see our brother Reece happier next week than he has been on the last few years.
I do not want your joy.
I do not want any joy from any of you guys. Exactly. That is the last.
I hope to have a direct. I hope to have a direct impact on your joy being decreased this weekend.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that.
I said Reese, not me, bro. I'm going to be sad this weekend. I've already prepared for it. I'm prepared for it.
No.
But
All right. Last weekend.
You're trying to reverse digit again, aren't you?
Yeah, he did the same thing like Isaac. Now look at that smile. He knows what
He
he's doing.
thinks he's DR Congo.
I don't know what you're talking about. Whoa, relax, bro.
Allegedly.
Let's go on to the predictions then for the upcoming games. Game week 23, I believe it is. We've obviously got the Arsenal United game, and then I guess Bournemouth Liverpool is probably the best other fixture from this list. But before we get into the predictions, the league table update. Reese is still top, 73 points and 12 correct scores. Khem has risen to second, 72 points and 12 correct scores. Io has dropped to third, 71 points and 10 correct scores. Johns is fourth with 70 points and 10 correct scores as well. Razor is fifth with 67 points and 8 correct scores. I am sixth with 63 points and 6 correct scores. And Nash is still bottom with 56 and 9 correct scores. Nash is also the one who missed the deadline. Yeah. So he's still got a chance. He's still got a chance if he sends his scores in before the first kickoff. But he's effed it. You know what? As well, he was one goal away from, in 2 different results, from getting like 3 or 4 correct scores last week. He was like literally like the tiniest, finest margin away from like actually putting me bottom of the table.
Cost me first place, mate. That dickhead.
Points for Johnny Ducking Pod also.
Yeah. Johnson was supposed to be on this episode, but the boy's having troubles. He's having jet lag troubles. But let's get into let's get into the Burnley Spurs game first. Then Reese will go first. He's gone 2-1 to Spurs. Khem, what's your prediction on this one?
I'm gonna have to load it up because I don't remember what I said, dude. 2-1 to Spurs.
2-1 Spurs. Io, what's your prediction in this one?
2-1 to Burnley.
All right, I wanted to double check. I'll double check. You didn't do it the wrong way around, right?
No, I'm staying firm. I'm staying firm. Go big or go home, people.
Your VAR and everything.
Can you shut your dirty mouth, bro?
You submit your stuff to Am like eternity. He double checks it's all okay before he puts it out.
Hey, it would have been too late. It's too late anyway. But it was just for bants, bro. Come on, man. I'm trying to get a clip out here, and you're actually being serious. All right, Johnson's gone 2-1 Spurs as well. Razor, what's your prediction in this one?
I've also gone 2-1 Spurs.
Oh, this is when Io takes the lead, boys.
You agree with me
2-1 Spurs.
Do you know what? As we've said several times, Io, you dislike Arsenal a lot, and it's moving a bit Spursy.
What, by picking Burnley to beat them?
No. Tadera's to doing that. You think you're that guy?
Oh, come off that.
It's possible, man. He jumped from the Packers to the Lions, so you never know.
You do have Spurs fan energy sometimes, bro.
That is crazy statement to make to me. That is disgraceful, mate. I just believe Burnley's got a good chance. They should have beat Liverpool.
I think he'd be happier if Eze was at Spurs getting more minutes.
Ooh.
I don't know. Spurs away from home though. It's been pointed out to me on this pod and in the group chat many a time that they're one of the better teams away from home. So I've also gone 2-1 Spurs. So pretty much everyone's gone 2-1 Spurs except for Io, who's gone the other way around. All right, Man City Wolves. Reese has gone 3-0 City. Khem, what's your prediction on this one?
2-0 Man City.
2-0. Io, what's your prediction on this one?
2-1 to City. You thought I was gonna say Wolves there for a second, didn't you? No chance.
No. You sent through 2-1.
The viewers would have thought it was lag anyway, dude.
Did you say 2-1?
Yeah.
City.
West Pool.
City. Johnson's gone 2-0 Man City. Razor, what's your prediction on this one?
3-0 Man City.
Oh, 3-0. You man have got a lot of faith in Man City.
I think they got the hairdryer treatment and they're gonna come out and take it out on the bottom side in the division. Yes.
See, I think Wolves will look decent. I don't think Wolves are
look
going to
good, man.
concede to. Yeah, I don't think they're going to
Has no
concede to him.
Okay. You clipped me
That's the only
last week.
problem.
You might clip me again. I don't care.
Hairdryer.
Yeah, that-
bald guy.
Man thinks I'm Skip Bayless. Man thinks I'm Skip Bayless. I'm Stephen Ray Smith. Like,
Where are you? Where are you? In the...
that boy Mane is very
he's
good.
Talent,
I really like
exactly.
him.
He
He's
looks
very
good.
It's the new Ronaldo. the
Saying all
household
that,
name.
yeah. Saying that though, I've also gone City to win 2-1, but I don't think it will be a 3-0, 2-0 kind of game. But who knows? I've been proven wrong on this pod many a time. All right, we'll go on Bournemouth, Liverpool. Reece has gone 2-2. Ken, what's your prediction on this one?
I've gone 2-1 to Liverpool.
All right, 2-1 Paul. Io, what's your prediction for this game?
2-1 to Bournemouth.
Nice one. Johnson's gone 1-1 draw. Razor, what's your prediction for this one?
I've gone 3-1 and I have regrets. 3-1 to Liverpool, but I have regrets. I have many regrets.
Yeah. I've gone 2-1. You'll still say you did nothing, even though Gakpo scores that trick. But Bournemouth, Liverpool, I've gone 2-1 Bournemouth. Don't know why actually, considering they don't have Semenyo. But
I feel like you've just copied my predictions at this moment, Ant. This is what it's sounding like to me.
Listen.
You went Burnley Spurs. That's crazy.
Accusing each other. Shut up. Carry on, Ant.
But Burnley Spurs, I'd never do that. All right, let's go on to Palace, Chelsea. Reece has gone 2-1 Chelsea. Ken, what's your prediction on this one?
I have gone 3-1 Chelsea because Palace is just a war zone right now. I feel sorry for Sarr coming back to that. Everyone's leaving. Even Mateta wants to go. So yeah, it's a sinking ship.
Yeah.
That is a sinking ship.
It's going to be rough, man, for Palace. Io, what's your prediction for this one?
Yeah, I'm actually annoyed. I didn't actually factor that. I didn't factor how bad they're in such disarray at the moment into my decision here. I've gone 1-1, but yeah, I think Chelsea could beat them because they're not in a good way.
Yeah, it's looking a bit rough for them. Johnson's gone 2-1 Chelsea. Razor, what's your prediction on this one?
Big up Juve Foot.
Yeah, big up.
I've got 1-0 Chelsea though, because I think Ricinia's not as naive as we all give him credit for. I think he's got something about him. I think his football brand we were all like, we don't know what his football brand is, and I think it might be boring based on that Paphos game. But yeah, man, I think they got enough to deal with this Palace in crisis. You know what I mean? Yeah, 1-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, I've also gone 1-0 Chelsea. I think they'll get the dub, but I haven't got massive confidence in Chelsea. It's got it might be a high-scoring game in the end, but I think the way Palace are as well, it's going to be one of those games. They're both just going to want to get out of the way.
Wants to leave.
Did Palace play today? Did they play in the conference? Because they're shit after that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they did.
The Austrian guy's tapping out anyway, so
yeah, he's leaving. All right, let's go on to the big game then. Arsenal United on Sunday. Reece has gone 2-1 Arsenal. Ken, what's your prediction in this one?
1-1 Carrick long-term deal given straight after the match.
All right, you've gone draw. Io, what's your prediction for this one?
2-1 to Arsenal. Take it home, boys.
All right. Johnson's also gone 2-1. Razor, what's your prediction for this game?
2-1 to the Arsenal.
All right. So you think it'll be a tight game? I've gone 2-0 Arsenal. I think this is the exact type of game where we come in with good vibes, but if you just look at the quality of the team, there's a bit of a difference. And I think we came to
You
Emirates
think?
last year off the back of a big win or a good couple of results.
And what happened?
Is it the one where Zerkamp waved them bye-bye? You're talking about a different one?
No, that was in the cup. You prick.
My bad. just wanted to remind you.
You reminded me.
Am I back? Man, cut out.
You didn't cut out. It looked like you just avoided the question.
Yeah, you didn't want to speak. Yeah,
Bro, on my side, it completely cut out.
we were still going.
He's got pictures falling down. He's got
we could
live
hear you clicking. We could hear
tapping
you
away,
bro.
faking, freezing.
That's hilarious.
I've had a stinker today, man. Life has beaten me.
It cut out.
Yeah. Bro, it literally cut out on my. If you saw what my screen was, it was going mad. It was the blinkers were on. I thought, oh no, I've crashed in midstream. No, take the whole pod down. But now 2-0. I think we came to the Emirates. It wasn't the cup, Khem. It was in the league. I think we either got a draw at Anfield or we got a big result, maybe away at City. And we went to the Emirates, and then it ended up being 2-0. I think it was 2 set pieces. Timber and Saliba scored. And yeah, we were coming in that game with good vibes. And I just think, comparing Carrick to a manager who's been with his team for 6 or 7 years, even though I know we did it with Guardiola, I do agree partially with what Ken was saying. I definitely think Guardiola was probably a bit arrogant or just didn't prepare whatsoever.
Another agreement
for that game, and I don't think Arteta will do the same. So I've gone 2-0, but yeah, hopefully there's some judge going around and we can reverse it. But before we wrap up the pod, lads, this week also saw the wrapping up of AFCON this year. Big up Senegal, crazy game. Before we log out, everyone happy with the outcome? Senegal delighted. Winning in extra time.
Be happy, yeah.
Delighted. Good to see an African team win.
Justice yourselves. What is wrong with this guy, bro? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, Senegal deserved it for sure. They were the better team on the night. After that referee is Hall of Shame performance. Hall of Shame.
Shocking.
Just like that Ghanaian one as well. But yeah, the whole tournament was just fishy from the beginning to the end. And
you see the towel stuff.
Yeah, there was just a lot. It's just wrong. Yeah, everything about it is. Yeah, but I don't like the fact people are saying it's like a stain on the tournament. I do respect the walking out. I don't think it should become commonplace. But I do respect the fact that you ain't going to just completely screw us over and get away with that nonsense. And I appreciate them just saying, no, we're not dealing with this crap. So fair play to them. And Raheem needs to go. I don't think he's going to recover for that for at least a couple of weeks, if not months, because that was a mental decision to Panenka that.
I think he's reapplying for his Spanish citizenship now after that. It's crazy because Real Madrid are already booing their players anyway, so he's just going to come back to more hate.
He's not coming back. He's not coming back to a good club side situation. Manager just been sacked. One of their star players been booed until he's crying. It's rough times. But big up Pape Thiaw, by the way, the Senegal manager. Absolute legend, man. Walking into the press conference with his daughter and everything, and the way everyone dealt with the result, mad salty. But yeah, big up Senegal. Very happy they won in the end.
I think they suspended him, didn't they? The federation or the
I saw that.
Do you think that's going to run until the World Cup?
It looks like he's going to get in trouble, isn't it? It looks like the federation and the team won't get massive punishments for the walkout, and it seems like he's going to get most of the punishment because they're kind of saying that he instructed them to come off the pitch.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. I think he can't avoid the punishment, unfortunately.
Do you know one crazy thing I saw, by the way? They were accused of doing, like, when they walked off. I saw like those are pages and stuff saying that they were going back to do some black magic and then come back out. Man, like, we can't, every single opportunity to get dragged down.
No, but you know what the crazy thing is? But it is mad that they literally took a 10-minute break and went back to the dressing room. But like when you just lay it down, like in the absurdity of the whole thing, is that they went and just took a 10-minute sit down at the end of like when the game hadn't finished. And then they came back out and won the game. Like when you see it like that, I'd be fuming as well.
Yeah, it was wild.
No, but we got to factor it all in, right? Because I read stuff about how they didn't give them enough security or transport, and the accommodation was poor. So even before you talk about the game, they were obviously trying to play mind games with them and make them super uncomfortable. So I agree with you, man. I think walking off, you can't set a precedent, but at the same time, these Senegalese man were probably like, these guys have been messing with us the whole time. Now the ref is behaving like this. We've had enough. And then also off the back of what they were doing, because that towel business was happening to you, man, in the semi-final as well. Yeah, it's been happening to a couple of other teams as well. So they're probably watching this thinking, this is crazy. We can't have this. And the best thing is, the most poetic thing was they came back out. Diaz missed it and they won the game, and they deserved to. They didn't get shanked.
With a banger as well.
Great goal as well.
What a strike! Yeah, exactly. Talk about that for. So yeah, justice was served for sure.
Good for Channel 4 as well to get some views. not mine, but
yeah. But big up Senegal for winning AFCON. Yeah, we'll wrap up the pod here. Crazy one for me. Apologies for the picture and also the lag. We'll be back next week, hopefully with better internet, hopefully with another Chang who's not sleeping right now. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.